Hi, I'm Vareen, a curious explorer of the intricate landscape of the human mind and behaviors, and you're now listening to the Ink Thoughts podcast, where I unravel the mysteries behind the incongruous thoughts that pepper our everyday existence. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ink Thoughts podcast. How have everyone been? Yeah, it's funny, like last week I was still complaining about how cold it is in the UK, but these 2 days has been so damn hot. Alright, anyway, let's go into today's video. So today, we dive into a topic that resonates with many of us, yet often get pushed to the back burner, the art of taking action. Procrastination is not an uncommon word to all of us, I believe. It is absolutely a universal challenge. There are tons of videos and articles online talking about it. And yet, we still often find ourselves asking, if not now, when? Let's explore why we delay our dreams and what we can do to change that. Let's start with a story. Imagine a young woman named Sarah. Sarah has always dreamed of writing a novel. She talks about it constantly, outlining plots in her mind and imagining the day her book will be on the shelf. But every evening, after a 9-to-5 job, she finds herself too tired to write. Weekends are filled with chores and social commitments. Years pass, and Sarah's novel remains unwritten. Does this sound familiar? It is a common tale, I believe. Many of us have a Sarah inside. I have to admit that I have it too, I believe. Yeah, dreaming big but acting small. So, why do we procrastinate? One reason is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even fear of success. This fear can paralyze us, making the idea of starting feel so overwhelming. Another reason is the comfort of routine. Change requires effort and disrupts our daily lives, even if it's for the better. And oftentimes, we find it difficult to break through it because the act of change itself is associated to pain, which we don't want it, even though sometimes it might really lead us to a very positive experience, but the first action itself to make the change is so painful. But let's try flipping the script then. What if instead of focusing on the fear, we focus on the possibility? What if we acknowledge that the perfect timing might never come, and that now is as good as time as any? So, let's jump into my own experience with this then. I remember I was very afraid of heights since young. I literally couldn't do anything about heights back then. I remember during my primary school graduation trip when I was 12 years old. We went to Universal Studio in Singapore. What an exciting trip, right? You know what? I ended up only did 5 rides because most of them are just way too high for me, and I couldn't conquer my fear back then. So the fear of height thing has always been following me for years, up until I was 16. There was this occasion which I remember vividly that I tried to challenge myself. I used to be a student reporter when I was in high school for an organization. So we, as a group, we went to a recreational site for an interview and of course to experience the activities there, so we could give a proper review while writing up the whole project. It was a fun experience. We did rock climbing, jungle trekking, cave trekking, and etc. It was my first time doing proper rock climbing in the nature, and cave trekking was a very new experience to me too. I remember back then I didn't even know that exists until I did it myself. It was absolutely fun, especially doing it with a bunch of friends. There were also facilities on their sites, and out of so many facilities, one of that our group decided to go for was Flying Fox. It was quite a long distance Flying Fox, I have to say. And you fly over a lake, which I think it was quite a big lake. Yeah. It doesn't seem to be extremely high as what we see online sometimes, but still it is quite high. So I really knew that I'm so damn afraid of heights, right? But at that point, I really felt like I want to challenge myself. So I kept encouraging myself in my mind that I can do it. So I climbed up the ladder with the others. But when I was about to reach up there, I was so anxious that I couldn't move myself anymore. I couldn't move forward anymore. I was like, what to do now? Because the person in charge did tell us once we climb up the ladder, there's no way down except to go through it. I literally couldn't do it that time. So ended up the person in charge said, just wait until everyone else finished, then I climb back down through the same ladder. After climbing down, I was so guilty for myself because I promised myself that I'm gonna do it and I can do it. But why did I come down? And why can't I do it? Yeah, this question kept running through my mind that time. The good thing is my friends were all very encouraging and they kept comforting me, saying like, at least I tried. And it is normal that all of us have some sort of fear in certain stuff. They're so nice, right? But deep inside, I remembered I carried on this guilt for quite some time with the same question. Keep questioning myself with the same questions. So now, at this point, most of the time when you encountered this next opportunity to do similar thing, usually two voices will come up. The first one might be, you can do it, you definitely can. You're so near to doing it last time. Another one, the devil, will be saying, no, you can't. Remember how you feel last time? And you got trapped there because emotion is most of the time the thing that is holding us back. So, to be honest, I did carry on having the extreme fear of heights for many years afterwards. Until last year, there was this summer fun fair thing that was set up in the city center for temporary. And so they have this swing ride. Yeah, and it was kind of low in height compared to the usual one that we can see in the proper theme park. So I was like, you know what? If I miss this opportunity to challenge myself, it is highly possible that I couldn't do it anymore next time. And most of the time, I don't see this kind of like, lower in height swing ride that I could try out. So this is the one. This has to be the one. So I decided to go for it. It was funny that there was a sign beside it saying that it is at your own risk if you are afraid of heights. Of course, I didn't do it myself. I have someone with me. While queuing up, I can feel my heartbeat kept increasing. The more I get nearer to the ride itself, my heartbeat increases even more. And my hands were sweating like crazy. While queuing, but then I told myself, it is now or never. Well, I ended up doing it, although I kept my eyes closed most of the time when I was up there. But honestly, if you ask me to do it again, it will still be damn scary for me, but at least now I can prove it to myself that it is doable. So this is the first evidence that I can show to myself like, yeah, it is doable. It might still be scary, but it is possible. So from this, you can see that the fear and the action needed to make a change, regardless of it being mentally or physically from what we are used to, set up that barrier for us to go for it easily. And it does tell us that it is possible. The possibility is there. So now, here are 3 strategies to help you take action now. First, these 3 things that I'm gonna say might sound very familiar for you. Like almost everything is applicable with all these strategies, but it is really helpful. Yeah, just give it a second. First thing first, set small, achievable goals. Break down your big dream into smaller, manageable tasks. If Sarah aimed to write just 5,000 words a day, 500 words a day, she should have finished a first draft in a few months. Small steps make the journey less daunting and keep the momentum going. For me, nowadays, I do bouldering regularly, and I can see myself getting more comfortable with heights as compared to when I first began to boulder. Although it's like one level tall, when I first started, I was so damn scared about getting myself down. But nowadays, if I really need it, I can jump down anytime if I need it. So it is doable. And the second thing is to create a routine if you can. I mean, depending on what kind of stuff you're trying to do. Consistency is a key. Dedicate a specific time each day or week to work on your goal. Make it non-negotiable. Treat it like an important meeting that you can't miss. Over time, this routine will become a habit. Then everything will become easier for you. The third thing is, try finding yourself accountability buddy. Share your goals with your friend, family member, or even join a group with similar aspirations. Accountability partners can provide encouragement, support, and a gentle nudge when you need it. And especially when you do it with friends or anyone that you know, it is more enjoyable as well. And all this positive thing will keep the momentum going. Apart from all the strategies, one important thing that I want to highlight is about mindset. Shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset can be very transformative. A fixed mindset says, I'm not good at this, so I won't try. A growth mindset says, I'm not good at this yet, but I can learn. It's about progress, not perfection. Celebrate small victories and learn from setbacks. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to your goal. I did have an episode about the psychology behind small wins. So feel free to check it out, if you're interested. Now, let's pause for a moment. Think about something you've been putting off. It could be anything, a project, a hobby, a conversation. Picture it in your mind. Now ask yourself, if not now, when? What's stopping you from taking the first step today? Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And before we wrap up today, I want to leave you with a challenge. This week, take a concrete step towards something that you've been procrastinating on. It could be as simple as just making a phone call, writing an outline, or even just setting up a meeting. Just one step and see how it feels. Comment down below and let me know how it feels. I can't wait to hear from you guys about that. And thank you everyone for joining me in this episode. If not now, when? I hope you found some inspiration and practical tips to help you take action. Remember, your dreams are valid, and you have the power to make them a reality. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might need a little push to start their journey. Until next time, take care and keep moving forward. Goodbye. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed it, do like and share it with your friends and family, and drop me a comment on YouTube. If you're on Apple Podcasts, please leave me a review. If you're on Spotify, please rate my show. Alternatively, any questions or feedback, feel free to email me at hello@inkthoughts.com or send me a private message on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter with the username of InkThoughtsPod. Thanks again, and catch you all next week.